All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rachakwadash. I'd also like to give double honors to my elders and apostles at Great Millstone that do well. And I would like to say peace and salutations to the Lord's elect, the hopeful elect in the 1/3. And Lord's will, this lesson will be edifying as well as exhorting to the sincere sheep of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rachakwadash. And the Wadiya, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rachakwadash will give me the inspiration to do this lesson. And as the title reads, context is important when reading about Gentiles. Okay, so in the scriptures, all right, you when you understand context through the Holy Spirit, there's two different forms of Gentiles. All right, meaning you have the literal Gentiles, as in the other nations, as in heathen, and then you have Gentiles, meaning you have Israelite foreigners that are practicing and living amongst other nations and assuming that they're of those nations, but in fact, they actually are birthright Israelites. So what I want to do real quick, don't want to make this lesson long at all, getting ready for camp, but what I want to do is I want to pull out a couple precepts, and mainly I want to focus in the Old Testament, because sticking with the logic or quote unquote understanding that Christians have when it pertains to salvation and who the Gentiles are, things of that nature, sticking with that same logic, hypothetically, what I want to show you is how that understanding can't apply when you look at future prophecies that haven't been fulfilled yet for Gentiles. Okay, so this is why I said context is very important. And actually, what I'd like to do is let's look up the definition of context, just really quick. Okay, I got just a few precepts I just want to show you, you brothers. Okay, context definition. It says the circumstances that form the setting for an event, statement, or idea in terms of which it can be fully understood and assessed. So one of the biggest things that Christians use as an angle to disregard the truth when you're breaking down the scripture to them is they say you're taking it out of context, when in actuality, that's the whole premise or idea of dogma belief that modern white Eurocentric Christianity has to this day, is they're taking scriptures out of its context to apply themselves within that. So if we stick on that same notion pertaining to when it means Gentile, that's any nation, okay, well then I have some precepts that I would like to read, and I would like a Christian to explain these, okay, because they have no problem like when it says Jew nor Greek or Gentile, this and that, they immediately apply themselves into that category when it comes for salvation, which we know salvation is only for the Israelites pertaining to the old and the new covenant. Hence why who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, whose true name is Yahushai, his whole ministry, if you will, was about being sacrificed, which that is a law found in the Israelite custom for the act of forgiveness of sin. So within that, I just want to go into this. So you have Christians today that immediately use the card of a Gentile, and then they use context to their defense, as in you're taking it out of context. So let's go right into this, okay? So when you go down right here, Joel 3:9, this is a future prophecy. It says the nations will be judged. This is a future prophecy, okay? So with you having the understanding that as a Christian in Babylon, what you call America, when it comes to Gentiles, that's you, okay? So where it's written Gentiles, that pertains to the Gentiles, meaning pertaining to you, meaning non-Israelite, which is true, okay? Because you had Israelites that didn't even know that they were being a Gentile because I didn't know my nationality. So let's go into this real quick. Just a couple quick hits, angles. Joel 3:9 for the modern day Christians. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. So boom, right there. Okay. Hey, you're a Gentile, right? You say you're a Gentile. Oh, yes. Romans 1, Grecian. Yep. Romans 2, Gentile. Okay. Well, look at what else a prophecy has for Gentiles. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. You say you're a Gentile, so I'm proclaiming this to you. Prepare war. What? Yeah. No, they didn't say prepare for who you call Jesus. It didn't say, hey, come to the temple and eat some bread. No, it said prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up, beat your plowshares. Now it's telling the Gentiles to beat their plowshares into swords and their pruning hooks into spears. And it's also saying that a part of the Gentiles, which we know these are nations of Gentiles, that now the Gentile nations are saying, let the weak say, I am strong. Why? Because what the Lord Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, is doing is he's gathering these Gentile nations for a prophesized third woe. So when you push this Christian Gentile gentleness, loving kindness doctrine, what you're failing to realize is with that logic and understanding is you are trying to take away future prophecies that actually pertain and surround Gentiles. So that shows you right there this whole, oh, I'm a No. You Gentiles, you other nations, you have a different part to play when it comes to these scriptures. See, you're trying to play the part of being saved. You're trying to play the part of being delivered. No. You have a different role in this movie. That's not your chair, okay? This is where you sit. So my question is, with that logic about the Gentiles, does this apply to you as Gentiles as well? Because what's good for the goose has to be good for the gander. So these are just little precepts that I want to use to show you. Now, let's take it a step further. Let's go to another prophecy that has yet to be fulfilled surrounding Gentiles. And we know that the Gentiles this is referring to is the heathen nation, the same heathen nation that is proclaiming that you're promised for war. So wait a minute, that you're the Gentile position for salvation. I'm telling you, no. You are the Gentiles that are set up to go to war. Look at another one, the fertility of Zion, Isaiah 54:3. It says, let's just see. Let's just start at 1. It says, sing, O barren, thou that didst not bear, break forth into singing and cry aloud, that thou didst not travail with child. For more are the children of the desolate than the children of the married wife, saith the Lord. Yeah, judgment upon us, but now we're going to be built back. It says, enlarge the place of thy tent, and let them stretch forth the curtains of thy habitation. What's this talking about? Our land, our rulership, our kingdom. Spare not, lengthen thy cords, and strengthen thy stakes. For who's this? For thou, who's the thou? Israel. For thou shalt break forth on the right hand and on the left, and thy seed shall inherit the Gentiles and make the desolate cities to be inhabited. Right here, okay, it says that our seed, the Israelite seed, will inherit the Gentiles. So as you see, there are future prophecies that are pertaining to Gentiles, as in the other nations, heathen nations, of something other than what they believe in is salvation. I see war. I see captivity. Let's keep going. Let's go to Isaiah 60:5 real quick. These are all future prophecies, okay? So it's just a quick hit, an angle to show what's going on here. Let's actually look this up in the NLT, okay? Just trying to show you something, all right? Isaiah 60:5, it says, your eyes will shine, Israelite eyes will shine, your heart will thrill with joy, for merchants from around the world will come to you. They will bring you the wealth of many lands. But what lands? Wealth of whose lands? Look at this. It says, the abundance of the sea shall be converted unto thee, the Israelites. The forces of the Gentiles shall come unto thee. So right here, we have 3 precepts that were actually building up unbeknownst to the people watching, almost in a chronological order, because Joel goes into the third woe that's coming. Then after the third world's war, the world as you know it will end by nuclear fire, i.e. Babylon, while the earth rocks to and fro like a drunkard. Then as the dust settles and the holy elect comes down in new bodies with a new covenant, they will go throughout the earth and encompass the planet for servitude. And then the Gentile will be inherited, and then the forces of the Gentiles will be brought. So as we keep reading about prophecies that haven't even come to pass yet, okay, we are seeing the position of what the Gentiles are actually going to be in, and not the delusional, deceived doctrine of Eurocentric Christianity that has the pleasure to walk around in pride up and down in Babylon as if there is a kingdom of heaven coming for them when they already are in their kingdom. This is why they can have their cake and eat it too. They get the spoils, the lands, and the riches. And then in the same breath as they live their beautiful, delicate lives here in Babylon, they also get to say when they die and they wither on, that they'll be in the kingdom of bliss and happiness forever. No, it doesn't work like that. You are in your kingdom now, O Gentile, okay? But the kingdom to come, you are now hearing about future prophetic prophecies that pertain to you as the Gentiles, i.e. in difference pertaining to the Gentile Israelites in that foreign mindset, okay? So they're trying to take the place of the Israelites that were scattered abroad and Hellenized or Westernized. They're trying to say, no, this is ours. No, it's not. It's the Lord's chosen people that have been scattered, beaten, murdered, raped, and robbed, lost their heritage, and now are finally gaining it back. And as they gain their identity back, here comes evil big brother to say, no, that's my controller. You can't have it. But nobody said this was your game. This is Isaiah 61:6. It says, but ye shall be named the priest of the Lord. Who's going to be named the priest? Look, and strangers shall stand and feed your flock. Who's going to be feeding our flock? Who's the priest? Who's the strangers? Well, one quick one comes to mind. Exodus, what's that? 19 and 16 or 16 and 19. Let me see. 19 and I like this chapter. Let me just put this in. Kingdom and priest. Oh, that was a good precept that popped up right there. Okay, I'll go to Exodus 16 and 9, I believe it is. Just give me a minute. Una momento. All right. The Lord provides. Exodus 16. And where is it? Oh, man, I haven't brought this one on a while. Let's go right here. I could have went to Peter's. Nation of kings and priests. Peter should pop up. Reverend 1 and 6 is good. They're at 19 and 6, excuse me. Exodus 19 and 6, and ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak to the children of Israel. So right here in context, when it's saying you shall be priests in context, we understand that that's talking about Israelites. Then it says here for strangers, who are the strangers? Who are the strangers? So you mean to tell me that you're going to have, in one breath you say, oh, the strangers can be joined in, but the prophecy says that the strangers are going to feed your flock. See how they jump over these prophecies and they confuse you? Wait a minute, you're telling me that because it says stranger here, they receive this glorification, but then when the kingdom comes, who are going to be the strangers that feed the flocks? In one breath, you tell me Gentiles can be saved, but another says Gentiles prepare for war. Gentiles give up thy goods. Gentiles, you're going to be a servant. So you got to understand the context when reading the scriptures, especially pertaining to Gentiles, because in one breath, when you use this precept to give them the glorification, and another, this is for their devastation. So you got to understand what Gentiles is referring to. Gentile just means nation. It's a group of people. You can say, oh, to the men in America, but what men in America? The Israelite men in America, the so-called African America, the Native America, the Latino America. You get what I'm saying? And then it even goes further to the spirit of those in America. This is why after Acts 10, the implosion or explosion of the gospel being preached to other nations, because you had Israelites scattered in other nations being regarded and referred to as Gentiles, living under a heathenistic custom, but their spirit ain't a heathen. So this is why they converted, because it's the spirit. Okay, so you can claim all you want of this and that, but at the end of the day, the wheat and the tare is going to be separated. The sheep and the goat's going to be separated. So it says, but ye shall be named the priests of the Lord. Men shall call you the minister. What men? All right. Isaiah 2. Men shall call you ministers of our God. Ye shall eat the riches of the Gentiles, and in their glory shall ye boast yourselves. Wait a minute. Notice how we're reading futuristic prophecies that have not happened yet. And we read these, and it's showing that the Gentiles, non-Israelites, get a short end of the stick, in so much that we are seeing that the Gentiles actually are serving the Israelites. The Israelites are taking from them. So context is extremely important when you bring up the aspect of what? Of a Gentile, okay? And I also want to say this too, for those out there believe that they're Gentiles and you believe such and such are saying that they're the people. One thing that I've noticed is a relationship between Christians here in America and us that identify as Hebrew Israelites. You have this sense of smug and pride when it comes to the doctrine. If we're telling you that we are the Israelites and you're saying you're just a Gentile, why do you feel you can assert authority over the natural born Israelite pertaining to doctrine, understanding, and teaching, when you are just a Gentile that believes because of your feeling, you now get to enter in? So now you get to enter in, but why do you have this sense of like bossness, entitlement, as if you can now be equal with the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob's children? Real quick, Romans 9:4, it says, who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption? So only the Israelites pertain to the adoption and the glory and the covenants, the old and the new, and the giving of the law. But a Gentile will tell you the law is done away with. It's not your position to tell me if the law is or isn't done away with. It wasn't given to you because you're just a Gentile, right? And you got prophecies that haven't been fulfilled yet pertaining to you as a Gentile before you try to tell me the laws for, or the salvations for the Gentile. No. Prophecy is for Gentiles, meaning the other nations. So they don't know what they're talking about. Just wanted to do a quick hit, a quick little angle. It says, look, and the service of the Most High. So Israelites are the only ones allowed to do the service, meaning priesthood, teaching, prophesying, edification. This is why I said evangelists, for the perfecting of the saints and the promises. So Israelites are the only ones that get adoption, glory, covenants, law, and service. Israelites, well, they get which is servitude, the third world's war. They get to feed the flocks, watch the children, obey the Israelites on earth in our kingdom of heaven, which will be forever. So we actually see, according to prophecy, that the doctrine that they hold to pertaining to Gentiles is actually false, even when you look up future prophecies that haven't even happened yet. So that alone shows you, wait, okay, before you keep going on about this aspect of Gentile, you need to understand there's prophecies that haven't been fulfilled pertaining to Gentiles. So you're skipping past a future event, just try to get the glorification of a kingdom that's not even predestined to you. You'll be in the kingdom for servitude, but you won't be in the kingdom for glorification because it wasn't given to you. So I just wanted to do a real quick lesson. I wanted to pull a few precepts, and not only precepts for Gentiles, but prophetic precepts showing that doctrine alone cannot be true, which we know, but we see it's not true because there's prophetic events that haven't happened yet, specifically pertaining and surrounding around heathen Gentile nations for war and for servitude. So, I'm just going to leave it there. I got to get ready for camp. Wanted to just do a quick GMS, quick hit, and I pray it was edifying and exhorting. I just want to say, call halal, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Chakwadash. Double honors to my elders and apostles, a great millstone that do well. Peace and salutations to the Lord's elect. With that being said, shalom.